Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Bills, and today we're dealing with the 2021 Volkswagen Golf R. Now this has 715 horsepower, 623 pounds-feet of torque from its 2.3 litre turbocharged inline-4 engine. The car itself now weighs 2,741 pounds, and yeah, it's got off-road tyres and off-road suspension to go with the all-wheel drive system it already had, and it can now do 0 to 60 in 3.280 seconds, 0 to 105.978 seconds, and go to a top speed of 200 miles an hour. So yeah, this is the original engine that you can put in the car. I do know that you can put an inline 5 engine in this, but I figured with its original engine being able to put out more than twice the power it had originally, that would be extreme enough. And yeah, on top of that, it weighs nearly 600 pounds less than it did originally, and as you can see by the stats, it's easily one of the more consistent vehicles we've had in terms of stat output. So yeah, speed, acceleration, launch, braking and off-road ability are all great. Handling is a little bit down, but not quite as much as we've seen with other vehicles that have had the same kind of stats with the rest of them, and then the handling has been really rather quite low. You compare this to the Wuling Sunshine S, where it also had pretty good stats in the rest of the categories there, but the handling was way down, whereas this is a little bit higher in that regard. So yeah, I'm expecting this to be pretty good, to be honest, because like I said, it had the all-wheel drive system originally. The only difference on the underneath stuff is the off-road tyres and the off-road suspension, but obviously it is dealing with a lot more power than I had originally. At 288 horsepower originally, so yeah, quite a big increase. The only things we've changed in terms of the bodywork is the spoiler. It's a aftermarket spoiler, just to give it a little bit better handling. It's not the full-blown Forza spoiler by any means. And you'll also notice it's got a roll cage. Surprisingly enough, even though you don't go for the full roll cage on this, it puts it inside the car as well. Not sure if that's a glitch or anything, but it doesn't happen with other vehicles. But yeah, wanted a bit of extra strengthening with this car to make it a little bit stiffer. All very normal so far. No issues at all. Actually quite sedate, to be honest. Nearly overcooked it there, but no issue there after it. Massive jump there. That's easily one of the longest hang times we've had with that jump there. Obviously with the off-road suspension, it can sometimes in some vehicles make the car a lot more bouncy. That is somewhat the case with those jumps then, but had far worse before this. Again, a little bit bouncy there. Can be a little bit harmful to the time of the car, because when you do bounce, you obviously have no steering or no braking. It can sometimes put you in a awkward position or put your driving line off, so you've got to really be careful with a car that can bounce. So to try and compensate for it and try and predict when it will do it or not. I think the reason why this is being as subtle as it is because it did have the all-wheel drive system originally, which means it's not dealing with any extra weight in that regard. It's not dealing with something it was never meant for. It's just taking it in its stride, and obviously that all-wheel drive system is helping deal with all that extra power, which has, yeah, produced a really rather solid drive. It's going to be a fast one, let's see. Speed across the finish line, 118 miles an hour. With a time of 3 minutes 27.783, which is quicker than the Wuling Sunshine S in the previous episode, but it's also quicker than the Sierra Cars RX-3, the Toyota Land Cruiser AT37, the Ferrari FXXK Evo, and the Ford Bronco, but it is slightly behind fellow German car the Audi TT RS, which also came with all-wheel drive standard, as well as the McLaren GT, and it's way off the pace of the GMC Jimmy, DeLorean DMC12, and the current leader, the Toyota Hilux AT38. So by nearly 4 seconds, in fact. So yeah, not the most spectacular run we've had, but definitely one of the easiest, because yeah, it was really rather sedate. It had a little issue at times with some bouncing with the off-road suspension, but everything else was perfect. It was the all-wheel drive system wasn't generating too much understeer. The power was being put down well. It had plenty of speed and acceleration in the right areas, and yeah, the brakes were good as well. So yeah, no real issues at all there, which is, you know, typical Golf, I guess you could say, as the standard car really doesn't have any issues either. So yeah, decent time. Just wish it would have been a little bit quicker. Maybe it would have been with a bigger engine with the more power, but it could also have swung the complete other way and been a complete hectic car to drive. So yeah, I think we got the balance right here. Extreme enough, but not overly extreme. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.